It is very easy to justify Francis Bacon as a political, moral, or as a philosophical thinker. But those who don't have a better conception of Bacon might find it harder to justify him as a historian and as a scientific thinker. Those critics who say that Bacon had no scientific contribution as he didn't invent anything do nothing but represent the fact that a little learning could be dangerous. At the part of Bacon, being a historian is accepted by almost every sphere of the critics. But how Bacon came to be a historian? Bacon produced the work History of Henry VII in 1621. According to critics of his time, there were no work of history as polished as Bacon's apart from Raleigh's History of the World. Bacon might not be one of the most famous of the historians, but he certainly did play a part in keeping the record of history in a synchronized manner. But it should also be mentioned that his History of the Reign of Henry VII is the only completed work of history which we receive from him. One would be mistaken if he is trying to judge Bacon as a scientist on the basis of any scientific discovery. It is also true that he did not know very well about all the inquiries about science during his time. In spite of that, the fact of his believing in science should be given priority. He was someone who believed in science and paved the way that experiments could flourish the knowledge of science. And we have seen in modern times that experiments are an inevitable part of science. No matter what kind of discovery science is up to, without experiment, science is not going to reach its goal. He also believed that science was an important field of human activity and it could open up the secrets of nature. He laid the foundation of science by believing in the notion of experiment, and it is more than enough in context of his time to call him as a scientific thinker. So we come to a point where we could justify from where we started, and we could sum up the whole thing shortly by saying that Bacon is a historian, though he hasn't produced tons of historical masterpieces, and Bacon is a scientific thinker, though he hasn't made any particular discoveries like Newton and Harvey.